What's going on, everybody? It's WebsterStyle Brian Sapph with another NRW checkpoint. Yeah. What's going on, Brian?
I'm doing all right, man. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Happy to see you. Happy to talk about some games. Let's get right into the new releases. First one we have is an actual game that we reacted to the trailer some time ago over on NRW. So check it out if you haven't seen it, ladies and gentlemen. And it is Mr. Run and Jump. And it's on a PS4, 5, Xbox One, SX, Switch, and PC. Action game from Graphite Labs / Heavy Horse Games as the developers, published by Atari. Now, in the game, help Mr. Run and Jump defeat the terrifying void and collect all the power gems from the realms of color. Venture through a dazzling and dangerous world, dodging countless enemies and conquering hundreds of fierce platforming challenges to save the day. So this is one of those games that's inspired. Actually, if I remember correctly, it started life as an original Atari 2600 game and was never finished. So it was finished and updated for modern consoles. And unfortunately, we are not watching the trailer for today since we already did the reaction a couple months ago. But yeah, Brian, what do you think of the sort of, and we got a lot of retro on this week as well. Now I think about it. What do you think of just the whole retro sort of theme gaming really becoming popular?
I'm of a particular age myself, so I like it. I like the callbacks to earlier gaming. I like that, the earlier consoles and maybe some games that weren't finished, they are getting the shine that they deserve, now. Because I feel like we're in a place right now with gaming where the kind of like live service games and stuff, they're kind of hitting a plateau. So games like this, or more RPG type games, or turn-based games, like there are other genres of games that are becoming more of the center of attention these days. And I feel like adding the retro wave onto that, getting some of those older IP that maybe, like I said, didn't get the attention and the shine they deserved back then, I feel like it's great. It's gonna just give gamers more to do. Like we got enough, but it'll give more option than just being confined to the AAA titles and the games that are, like I said, live service, those Fortnites and Apexes and Call of Duties and stuff like that. So I'm down for it, especially because like I'm not, I got into gaming around, well, I can't even really say that because I was hand-me-down a Sega Genesis. So I had that console. Well, I got into the gaming in the 90s, but because I was a kid, I didn't never necessarily have the access to like everything I wanted to play. So I like this is coming back. Now that I got money, I'm an adult now. I can buy the things I want to buy. So yeah, it's dope. I appreciate it, actually.
Right. I feel that with someone who literally came up with a 2600 in my hand, it's nice seeing these retro games come back in an updated, and Atari just has that nostalgic feel. Regardless who owns it, it's still Atari. But I particularly like it, especially seeing how the younger generation of gamers really see these games and are so amazed, and then they look at it as like, you used to play that? Like, it looks cool, but like, how old were you when that came out? I've gotten that question several times. I'm like, did you play that when you were a kid? But I love the fact that these games are available for younger audiences, and they are now finding those games and falling in love with those games just like we did. And even if it's not the same game, it's that style of game. Because I think in many respects, a lot of those games retain a lot more of the charm of gaming than, say, some of those AAA, big budget, heavy IP little games. There's a charm lost sometimes when you do that. And speaking of which, AAA, big budget, let's go into our next game of the week. Remnant 2 on the PS5, Xbox Series systems, and PC, an action RPG from developer Gunfire Games and publisher Gearbox, Remnant 2 pits survivors of humanity against new deadly creatures and godlike bosses across terrifying worlds. Play solo or co-op with 2 other friends to explore the depths of the unknown to stop an evil from destroying reality itself. So this is a Souls-like game from what I was reading. Okay. So it's kind of cool that it's a Souls-like, but it's co-op as well.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's probably the element of the game that probably sticks out the most. We don't get a lot of co-op games, man.
Nah.
And I mean, I guess I can kind of understand a little bit because gaming has evolved into a place where you don't need to be in the same room with your player 2 or whatever.
Right.
But given that the internet is so vast now, it should be nothing to like solo queue with a one other person and just run a whole solo game. But maybe the length of the game will probably have to play some kind of effect. So maybe not. Like maybe a roguelike probably be good as a co-op because it's quick,
Yeah.
But outside of that, yeah, I like the co-op feature coming back in with this.
And we're watching a trailer for that one as well. I've seen a lot of people play that game online over the past week, so it's definitely popular.
Yeah, I can see this. I mean, got to be popular to get a sequel, and then like you said, like I've been seeing people around like talking about it. At least I haven't seen any actual gameplay footage, but definitely going around on gamer Twitter and
I've seen. I'm not on Twitch like that, but just scrolling through TikTok, I've seen a lot of people live streaming playing Remnant 2 because I was like, what game is this? And I realized, it's Remnant 2. And I've seen a good number of people playing the game in the past 2-3 days.
Okay.
Scrolling through. So
check it out.
Definitely getting some traction. Mm-hmm. All right. Next up is probably the game all 3 of us are looking forward to this week. We talk about retro. We talk about really IP that started all like this game really started beat 'em ups.
Yes.
So we're talking about Double Dragon Gaiden, Rise of the Dragons. It's on everything. I mean, it's really it's on everything.
Right.
Yeah, as it should be. Action game, Arc System Works. If I remember correctly, Arc is the same company that did the Blue Blaze fighting games, if I remember correctly.
Okay, that's a good sign.
I think. And published by Modus. And Modus, they published some other games and they escaped me, but they were games that we were very high on, if I remember correctly. So already good pedigree. So the Double Dragon Brothers return in this fresh addition to the iconic beat 'em up franchise with roguelike elements. Every playthrough is a chance at new action. Tag in with 2 of 4 starter characters or unlock 9 additional characters each with their own special moves and unique play styles. Now, I think when we did the original reaction to this a couple months ago, I talked about how I think the last major release was Double Dragon Neon, which was really good. And at the time, that game was on both Game Pass as well as PlayStation. What is it called?
Plus.
Okay, so-called Plus. Okay, I keep thinking Plus is the wrong thing. I know it was on there then. I know it's not on Xbox Live now. Xbox Live. Can we pour out some liquor, some Hennessy or something for Xbox Live? It's finally gone. Xbox Live Gold is officially dead, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
Gone.
Yep. That's our news bit for today. But I know it's gone. But I enjoyed playing that game, and they had some elements there from others. But this one, especially with its sort of pixelated art style, it's collectible. I wonder if it's co-op play. That's something I didn't see in the description and knowing I was looking it up. So it'd be very interested if it had either or both couch co-op as well as online co-op.
Yeah.
I think that would be absolutely. There's no reason for them not to have co-op, online co-op in 2023.
Right. But you never know.
Yeah. I'm excited, and I'm also excited because it's a different take on the IP, and it's one that looks really, really cool, really, really awesome. Like I love the original Double Dragon, I love the original arcade Double Dragon, but I fell in love with Double Dragon 2 on the NES.
Okay.
I played the hell out of that game. Me and my boy came over. We just go through and doing that windmill kick. So this is a game I'm definitely picking up and playing. How about you, Brian? What are your memories of Double Dragon?
Well, okay, so I was introduced to Double Dragon through the cartoon series. And once I yeah, that's I'm that age. But once I get
I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean,
you could have said the movie. You could have said the movie.
This is the cartoon.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying you could have said the movie. That's worse.
Yeah,
but it is almost so good as bad though. Almost, not quite, but it's almost so good as bad. But continue. I'm sorry.
Wow, see, that's the thing. I enjoyed the cartoon. I mean, because I'm a kid, so sure.
Cartoon, yeah, at that time, the cartoon for what it was, like I said, I'm a little bit older, so and also I saw the IP differently. So I definitely understand the appeal of the cartoon to its specific demographic, especially at that time. So I get it.
Okay. Well, yeah, that was pretty much. I got into the cartoon, and then I don't know, my era of gaming, like when I came into gaming, like arcades were starting to phase out,
right.
But I still was able to like go and do that kind of stuff. So I played the arcade game in the arcade or at skating rinks and stuff like that. They would have the game in the back. So that's how I got familiar with the game. But I'm just Double Dragon has always just been interesting to me for the just based on what I was introduced to through the cartoon. So fond memories there. I believe it was a Saturday morning type of situation. Fox Kids, I believe, or was it WB Kids? One of the two. Where I was very, very much into it. Was it? Because HBO used to play cartoons as well.
Might have been WB because I feel like I know it wasn't on Fox. It might have been WB or one of the syndicated joints.
Yeah. Either way, I love Double Dragon. The two brothers and everything. One of their powers being the same but different at the same time. Always just been a fan of it. So I'm actually glad that this game is like coming out. And you said you played what, Neon? Yes. So something about that just makes me feel like we could possibly get a resurgence in as far as like maybe a movie or a television series.
I hope so. I think that, Double Dragon is an interesting property because at its core, it's just think of the first game. They take your girl, you and your brother go beat everybody out to go get her. It's such a simple story, but like the cartoon and even the movie added all these fantastical elements to it. So it's because of that, there's a lot of different lore involved with this game and the series and these characters. So there's definitely a lot to kind of pick and choose from to create a new multimedia property. It's possible, but none of that's happening anytime soon with the current state of the entertainment industry.
Well, wishful thinking.
Yeah, wishful thinking.
I'm looking forward to this game as well. I feel like we talked about it when we did the initial reaction or whatever. I feel like it's perfect for the Switch, just based on
definitely.
So, outside of Pikmin 4, I'm looking for other Switch games, so this will be a good addition. And it shouldn't cost too much.
I think it's like $24.99 if I remember correctly.
That's perfect. That's just about what I'm willing to spend right now, because budgeting.
Exactly. All right. Next up, we have the Rising of the Ashes, or From the Ashes, or Rising from the Grave, a TellTale game. So TellTale is back with a new series, The Expanse. Have you ever watched the Expanse TV show?
I was just about to ask, is it tied in?
Yes, it is. It is. So I've never watched it at all. And I've told you and before, I don't get a chance to watch a lot. And when I do, it's really like one or two shows. And most times I'm talking about them on a podcast. So that's why I watch
Now,
that and wrestling.
Expanse, if I'm not mistaken, does that come on Sci-Fi Network?
No, the first series came on, the first season came on Sci-Fi. Sci-Fi canceled it, and then Amazon picked it up. So Amazon has picked it. I think it's like on season 5 or 6 or something like that. It's been on for a while. It's been a couple years now.
Yeah.
But this is a TellTale game. So an adventure game is from developer Deck 9 TellTale Games published a TellTale game. So the game is set prior to the events of the Expanse TV show, and players assume the role of Carmina Drummer, summer as she and her scavenger crew explore the asteroid belt called the Belt. That is so an unoriginal name. Aboard the Artemis ship. She will encounter pirates, face mutinies, and scavenge wrecked ships in a zero-G environment. So it's a prequel to the series.
Right, okay. Interesting.
So I think that's good, though, because that gives fans of the series something new. So it's not a retread of what they watched before. Of course, some of us like those sort of things, but it gives TellTale the chance to really have that decision-making option that they pioneered, but also for people who are not in any way, shape, or form experienced with the TV show, they don't have to know anything coming in.
Right. And then it's also good because if you end up liking the game, then you could just pick it up with the TV show. I mean, it's not the same thing playing versus watching, but you know what I'm saying. You make you a fan.
Yeah.
I think the Expanse television show, it's not bad. It used to come on, if I believe, like right after the Magicians went off, which is that was an amazing show on Sci-Fi. But and I was like, okay, I could get into this or whatever. I probably watched like 2 episodes and never like went back to the beginning to watch it from episode 1. But I mean, if this game is anything like the television series, then it'd probably be a really good story at the very least.
I've never heard anything bad about the Expanse, so I'll put it that way. But this is going to be episodic. I forget the intervals at which the episodes are coming out. I believe, if I remember correctly, are 4 episodes. But you can buy, I guess, pre-buy all 4 of them for $49.99 for the entire game. So it's still a reasonable price for this. Yeah. And we are watching a trailer for that as well.
Cool.
Next up is we're going into the world of VR, the RoomVR, A Dark Matter on the PSVR 2. It's an adventure game. It's from Fireproof Studios. Explore cryptic locations, examine fantastic gadgets, and enter an outer-worthy space which blurs the line between reality and illusion. Designed from the ground up for the unique capabilities of virtual reality, players can inhabit the spine-tingling world of the room and interact with the strange contraptions in this compelling new chapter. So this is a VR game. It's been out since 2020, though, so I'm assuming it was also on the PSVR and probably Oculus as well, because I was surprised that, this has been out for a couple of years, but it's new for the PSVR 2, so I'm assuming graphics and things are going to be upgraded and the such.
Yeah, or not, because they will do something like that.
Yes, that is true. Cash grabs abound.
Right.
Yep. Last but not least is a game that I've been looking forward to. I don't know about you, but that is Disney Illusion Island for the Switch. It's a platformer from Dollar Studios, developer, and Disney Interactive, the publisher. Disney Illusion Island features the classic characters Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Goofy on a multiplayer adventure to secure several magical books on the mysterious island of Monmouth. Functionally, up to 4 players navigate a seamless world with various abilities to find in order to unlock further exploration. So this was described as a multiplayer Metroidvania platformer, because apparently there's a lot of backtracking and exploration in this game. It looks pretty good. I will say, just at the time of this recording, I haven't read any reviews, but when I see some of the scoring just offhand, I was surprised. I'll put it that way. Not in a good way that it was reviewing the way it was. So, but I'll still give it a benefit of the doubt and try it out.
Yeah, I agree. I actually saw the trailer earlier today, and it's very much Metroidvania. I like the, I don't know, I guess the Disney IP being attached to this style of game, it kind of intrigues me or whatever, because I'm looking at the characters do their like unique abilities, whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, like it's Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, and Donald. So like, okay. I've seen them in other iterations of games like Kingdom Hearts, but never in this style of play.
Right.
So I'm interested.
Yeah. And I love the art style. It's very much in the vein of the current crop of Mickey Mouse shorts that have been coming out over the past couple of years, which are absolutely phenomenal. I don't know. Disney needs to do something more with those. Like they need to play those more. Now, I haven't been to a lot of Disney movies, and apparently a lot of people haven't been going to Disney movies this summer. But they need to make sure those play before every Disney movie, every Marvel movie. Like those animation is not dead, and 2D animation is not dead. And those are some of the best things I've seen in years. So the fact that it takes that art style with these characters and the voices as well already had me sold and interested on this game.
Agreed.
So first up, let's get to the trailers. Let's get to Double Dragon Gaiden, Rise of the Dragons.
Double Dragon Gaiden, Rise of the Dragons. Stay back. My turn.
I love the destruction.
I'm here. Watch your step.
Stay back, children. Smack that. The Bobo's here.
Bobo.
You can't stop me.
About time.
Surprise!
Okay, so I'm loving that. Now, okay, so and Kuya P will get this one. So Burnoff, I forget if he was the boss in the first level of Double Dragon 2, but we always said he looked like Vader with that mask.
For real.
Like
the name reminded me of Karnov, though, another 8-bit Nintendo game.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely.
I love that game.
But Burnoff used to like disappear and reappear as you were beating his ass, but he always reminded me of Vader, the way his mask was. It's a little bit different in this iteration, but yeah, I'm excited. The fact that Bobo's there as a playable character, as well as Marion just sitting there, just putting the hand on, just mop. Like I love it. I absolutely love it. I am very happy with this reimagining of this classic.
Yeah, and see, it just goes to a testament of good IP, because they can be reimagined and brought back and things like this. Who knows? Somebody might play this in today's time period and be like, I'm really interested in the lore, and they'll find out the Double Dragon has kind of just been going for a long time.
Right.
But yeah, this looks fun though. Perfect for Switch. I'm actually kind of excited because traveling.
All right, so next up, we're staying with the Switch. We're going to our friends over in Walt's Magical Land of Illusion with Disney Illusion Island.
The land of Moloth is a beautiful, magical place, but its history is not without its darker moments.
1,000 evils will rain down untold suffering and misery.
That's it! For me, that's a Tuesday.
In desperate need of your help. Our entire world is in danger. Uh-oh! You must travel to the 3 biomes of Monoth and retrieve the tomes of knowledge.
Don't you worry, Toku. We won't let you down.
But be prepared. It will not be easy.
Well, I think if others are in need, we should help them. And if that makes us heroes, then let's be heroes!
Oh, I've got a question. What are we doing again?
I don't see what the problem is with this game.
I mean, maybe somebody's gotten a chance to play it and they're like, but it looked fine to me.
Yeah, same here. Great trailer. Trailer. Really encapsulates that Disney magic, and that again, with the newer cartoons, the playfulness and the magic of I hate to say it sound cliche, of Disney animation. That's exactly what I expect.
Yeah, me too.
So next out, let's go to the belt. Let's go to the Expanse, the TellTale series.
They did just name it the belt.
IG 60 turning now.
Looks
I've been at this
great.
a long time. When there's a treasure this big, I make it my business to know about it. The coordinates on that data drive, they're for the MK core.
We got a job, Baratnas.
Cox promised us a real payday. He said, give me 3 months, and you never have to work again.
I've heard that before.
Whatever this is, it could still be everything you need to help the belt.
Do we want to invite that kind of attention?
In and out. No games.
Time to see what all the fuss is about.
We've been locked.
Don't these Pashangwalas rest?
What do you think we should do?
There is no good option. Whatever you choose will be wrong, and it's your job to choose.
When you find what's at the other end of those coordinates, the whole system will be on your ass.
What are you waiting for?
Stations! On my word, loose a PDC volley, then turn and burn.
Just like series. Only this time, no dolls to keep you on the leash, yeah?
I hope that my actions on this ship can offer some amends for my past.
Whatever this treasure is, the one thing we know is that it will change everything.
So are you going to spend the rest of your oxygen feeling sorry for yourself? Or are you going to get to work?
I was impressed.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of before they shut down, I can't remember any of the TellTale games looking as realistic. I feel like they all took a lot of sort of creative license with their IPs, or like with the Walking Dead series, it looked like you were playing through a comic book, which was really amazing. But even thinking of the Batman games, Borderlands had a distinctive style, which they kept. The Fables games, everything, nothing to my recollection looked realistic, or it was trying to be realistic. So to see them come back in such a sharp fashion, I have to say I'm impressed. The visuals look really good. And again, not ever seen an Expanse before. Like, this gives me a really good idea of what the show looks like.
Yeah, and the show does look a lot like that. I feel like that's probably what they got kind of aiming for, because it's definitely humans in space for the most part. But the overall trailer itself was very what's the word? I don't know. It made me like really intrigued about the story here, because there's so much like dialogue that's left open-ended. I'm like, what is going on this particular space station? There's always some drama on a space station where there's too many people. But what's going on with the Expanse? And if I'm not mistaken, okay, well, no, this is a prequel, so they probably, because I think at some point in the Expanse, like, it gets extraterrestrial as far as like other entities being on
spoilers.
Yeah, definitely spoilers. But I'm interested, man. I like stories. You put that with gaming, you give me the opportunity to make my own decisions for the characters and things like that. That's something I can get into. And then this particular story itself, something about it, it seems like it's really engaging. So I'm interested to see what's going on with the Expanse.
All right, so that's that. So next up, we have a surprise, because it actually came out last week, but I made a promise to somebody that we cover this. And I think we don't usually cover DLC and whatnot, but I think this is really good because look, we've both been critical about Nintendo and their online and what they've done with DLC and how they've monetized their online to get this. But the fact that $25 gave you the booster pack for this game,
right?
And we're on wave 5 after 6 or 7 months. Well, it hasn't been a year since we saw it. No, it's been a year because the booster started last summer.
Yeah, they've been. I would venture to say going on 2 years, they've been dropping extra
$25. You paid an extra $25 and you're getting, this is wave 5. And I think each wave has like 8 tracks. So I ain't doing that math right now. We're talking about Mario Kart Deluxe, ladies and gentlemen. Mario Kart Deluxe 8, wave 5 tracks out. Let's watch the trailer.
Let's do it.
I always like that city track in Mario Kart Wii. That's a whole. Oh, wait a minute, you're flying over a toilet.
I was about to say, I ain't never seen that. This is new.
Yeah, it's a new one. Wait a minute, how many tracks have we seen? I wasn't even counting.
8?
I feel like it's been more than 8. Definitely can. Oh yeah, it was 8. Yeah. And it's gonna wave 6 by the end. 48 courses total. This is new characters.
Crazy.
Remember, this is $24.99 if you just buy it. It's ridiculous.
I enjoy Mario Kart. I really do. That level of courses is crazy.
Yes. Not just that. It's you got 48 courses
on top of
4 new characters,
right?
Plus the base game, but you got all that 48 courses, 4 new characters for $25.
Yeah.
Look, I will look. We call spades of spades when companies have some BS DLC and online policies, but I think honestly that's probably one of the best DLC deals in all of gaming, at least the past 10 years.
No, for sure, because
paid DLC. I can be specific about that.
Right, because the thing with Mario Kart is, I mean, I don't know. At this point, Mario Kart is bigger. Well, not bigger. It's as big as like a RPG Mario, like the base Mario that we all know. It's really become like the what they call the fighting game on there, the Smash Brothers of racing. Like it's so much to do in there. When they started at the beginning, adding these new tracks and then incorporating the ones from the past Nintendo systems, I already knew it was going to get crazy like this. But for them to keep it at this, fair base price, you know what I'm saying? You get all of these courses, these new characters and things like that. That's dope, because with each wave, it adds on to the base racing kind of situation. So you can beat every track at the 3 different CC tiers or whatever. It's like 50, 100, and 150 CC, whatever. So every time you add a new track, they just give you 3 more times to beat a new track to add on to your overall thing. They making, I don't know, because on one hand it could feel like, they milking the Mario Kart thing or whatever, but on the other hand they not, because they really are giving you a bunch of extra content to keep you entertained. And on top of that, the online for Mario Kart is ridiculous, because the Asian community, they got it on lock. Every time I see some Mandarin characters as somebody's name, I'm like, I'm not gonna beat this person. I don't know how they do it, because everybody got the same thing going on. But that's beside the point. I'm excited for this DLC. Every time I see one of these new wave packs, I'm like, oh wow, more things to do in Mario Kart outside of playing online. I'm happy about this. And it's a good price.
Yeah, the price is what gets me. And look, Nintendo,
because they add cars in there too.
Right. Nintendo's been some BS when it comes to charging for their games. Look, we're looking at you
going on sale.
New Zelda game coming out $70. That's some BS. Straight up, there's no reason that game should be $70 on a 7-year-old console. No reason. But besides that point, Mario, they look, I will give Nintendo props. They could be price gouging like I don't know what, because Mario Kart Deluxe has a 40% plus attach rate with the Switch of 122 million sold. 40% at least of all consoles have Mario Kart in them, and it's probably closer to 50%.
Yeah,
they could have charged $50 for this, which I still would say that still wouldn't be a bad deal.
Yeah, because you're getting all the previous waves.
Yeah, exactly. You're talking about that would be a little more than $1 a course.
Right.
If it was $50 DLC. Right now, we're talking about 50 cents a course if you broke it down.
Mm-hmm.
Really, it's less than 50 cents when I think about it.
Yeah.
But that's less than 50 cents a course. And you add in the characters, add on each thing as individual monetized purchase.
Mm-hmm.
That's less than like 40 cents.
And then if you want to look at it from that angle, you take into account that the game itself, like the base games, they don't do the microtransaction thing.
No.
Like nothing like that. So not only are you getting the base game or whatever, where you could just play that straight through one price and got to worry about, you can unlock everything in this game. They adding extra things for you to unlock, and you not paying a crazy price, because they could now.
They really could.
We gave you the game. We don't do the microtransaction thing or whatever. We could really be charging more. So it's really dope that they was like, you know what? We know the power of Mario Kart. People are still playing this game heavily on a daily basis. I'm quite sure they have no plans to get to 9 Mario Kart.
I feel
9.
bad for them when a successor to the Switch comes out and they have to figure out how to do Mario Kart all over again. Because this Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has been, and even though this came out originally in the Wii U, we know that, so that makes it worse, because now they have been literally developing this game since 2012.
I mean, got to be the longest developing game in history.
Yeah, so this is literally what a 10-year-old game when you think about it, between the Wii U and the Switch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the original one, Mario Kart 8, came out. I believe they added a few extra tracks in there, whatever. And
so
then
almost 2014,
they went to Deluxe.
2014 is when it came out on the Wii U. So we almost have a 10-year. Actually, really, it's a 10-year development cycle, because it started longer than it started at least 2012, at least for developing this game, the original one. So they're gonna have a hard time duplicating the success of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on any next generation Wii. I feel bad for Nintendo.
Really? You can tell they trying to test things too, because you see they threw that little wheel out there, the whole virtual reality racing thing where you can race in the real world. I don't know.
Well, but they were a tail company first, so I expect those things from them.
Right. Okay.
Well, cards and toys, and then video games.
Right.
So
I don't know. I guess we'll see, but I'm intrigued, and I'm also. I just want to know how long this is gonna keep going. Like, what are they gonna do next? Because
live service,
which they probably will do that.
They probably could do that.
They probably could. I would like to see. I would like to see Double Dash come back in some fashion. Like, I really want that. Is that a playable mode?
You know what? This is what I think they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to wrap this up, because we can talk about this for a while. With the fact, from everything we've heard, there's a very good chance that the next Nintendo system is backwards compatible with the Switch.
Okay. True.
Very likely. It is very easy in this case to just simply extend the life of this game even longer. Maybe a graphics update pack, add some Switch 2 only
features.
Yeah, it's possible. That way, just extend the life of it, charge you another $50, or they wrap that into their online service. So again,
you know what I think is gonna happen?
What?
Or what I would like to happen? Because Mario Kart is not the only kart that Nintendo has in their stable of karting games. I would be it would be dope to me if they went back to N64 and pulled Diddy Kong Racing forward. If they went back to the NES era and got Donkey Kong Racing and just merged them all together.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, I feel like that would breathe new life into the game for the new console, but it's still Mario Kart and give you a bunch of ways to be extra about it. Like, let's add in some more maps that fuses the worlds together. I don't know.
Right. I will say this: he will never see this more than likely, but me and Moto-san, can we get a couple pennies off of that for this?
At least a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I'm not asking for pennies. They asking for too many millions, but one or two is great.
Right. So Brian, what you got dropping this week?
Well, so at time of recording, I had an episode from my podcast come out. It was 2 days ago now.
Yes. 2 days ago, yes.
Wednesday. So that's out. We're getting into the Carly Russells of it all, and this whole conversation with the women and the trans women thing. And gaming has been not as robust lately. Obviously, we still
summer doldrums, yeah.
Right. There's been some music that's come out that I had a chance to enjoy, and then the stuff I watch on TV. But I'm trying to figure out because I support, the actors and SAG and Afro and all that stuff. I'm trying to figure out how to have the watch list segment of the show without not giving them folk too much promotion, man. I want the actors and the writers to get paid fairly, because I know they're getting paid, but it could be way better.
As content creators, is double-edged sword.
It is
double-edged sword, yeah.
It is, but that's pretty much it, man. This is another episode of the Talk+Play blerdcast. What about yourself? What do you have?
Since the last time we spoke, I dropped an interview with perfumer, brand connoisseur George Sahara. So I talked to him. That's one there as well. That was great because I love his stuff. I love the fragrance he puts out. I've also talked to Angel Carmel. She's a great, I would say, TikTok personality, talking about I would say she talks about relationships, but she really started talking on the platform as a healing journey for herself and taking accountability for, the A word that we hear that people, especially some people, opposite of men, don't like to do, but that was something she talked about, and her journey in that with her relationships and moving and transitioning in her life and getting older. So we had a really good conversation with that. So both of those are currently on YouTube. I also dropped a new podcast 155, and that's just the audio version of the Sartorial Geek panel from BlerdCon this year, 2023. So if you didn't watch the video, the audio version is there. So that's all that's dropped since the last time we talking. I got so many things in the pipeline for the next couple of weeks. It's going to be busy. It's going to be busy. Good. But we are, with Nerds Rule the World, their videos dropping every day review, reactions, interviews. Make sure you stay tuned for the latest and greatest with all things when it comes to being a nerd. Make sure you follow us on X at the NRW.
Did it officially change? Because I still got the bird.
Oh, mine says X when I opened my phone. I saw that about an hour ago.
Oh, okay. So maybe I just need to do an update, man. Yeah. Elon, stop playing with it. Just get out of the way and let us have the app, man.
Exactly. Instagram at New Release Wednesday. And of course, you're currently on YouTube. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe.